Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TD PHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We have breaking news out of Kansas City. The Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes they have agreed to a massive extension, 10 years north, somewhere above 400 million is what's being reported. Let me just start out by saying this, okay? Before we start breaking this down and talking about it, life, this has, gosh, man, this has started the trickle effect of the AFC getting easier and easier and easier. I already know people gonna disagree with my assessment on this, but they have rolled the ball of the AFC East getting easier and easier and easier, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about that today. I'm going to give y'all my true assessment on why I said that. I'm happy for Patrick Mahomes now. Don't get that twisted. I'm happy the kid got his cash, man. That's what I'm talking about. If it was my son, go get that cash, boy. Hey, it is what it is, man. But it just made life easier in the AFC East. I mean, not the East, but just the AFC in general. Why did it make life easier, TD? Because the Dolphins are one of the last teams in the AFC to get a new quarterback. So we ain't got to worry about this for a few years. So that's why our window is now. Shout out to DFS Hobby saying 10-year deal unheard of. Yes, it is. Thanks for the donation to the channel. Everybody who donates, I appreciate it. Guys, 10-year, $40 million. Out of 10 years don't matter to me because y'all already know my rule over here, okay? Let's see if y'all been following me long enough to know my rule. I don't care about the 10 years. There's only one thing that matters, okay? So y'all let us know in the comment section what matters. What is the one thing that matters when you look at a deal? 10 years means nothing, okay? 10 years means nothing. Exactly. Thank y'all for putting it in the comment section. Only thing matters is what's guaranteed. So once we find out the whole amount of the deal, then we found out how much of it is guaranteed. We'll see how many years is the guaranteed money, and that's the real contract. I'm confident the guaranteed is probably going to be somewhere, it's probably going to equate to 6 years of the 10. It's probably going to equate to about 6 years out of the 10. So that's the real contract, okay? That's what I go off of. 6 year, 200 and something million, whatever it comes up to, okay? That's what the real deal is going to be. All that 400 is a formality unless he keeps balling, unless he keeps on winning Super Bowls, even after making that kind of money. But y'all already know my theory. I doubt it. Patrick Mahomes, now we still got to wait on the terms of the deal because I'm hearing different things. I'm hearing it's over 400 million. I'm also hearing that it's going to be cap based. It's going to be a percentage of the cap. Now, I'm in favor of a percentage of the cap. The only problem is what percent. What percent? That's all that matters. So that's all water under the bridge until we know the real numbers. But what I will say, if it is over 40 million a year, all it is doing is making life easier for the up-and-coming teams in the AFC with the youngest quarterbacks. Here's what's going to happen. Here's my bold prediction of the future. Patrick Mahomes gets this money. They just like Russell Wilson, they're going to continue to be playoff contenders, but not Super Bowl contenders. Even though people are going to say they're Super Bowl contenders, it tells me that now they will be playoff contenders, but not Super Bowl contenders. That's my bold prediction of the future. Lamar Jackson is going to be next, and it's going to make me happier. Deshaun Watson's going to be there. It's going to make me happier. All these young guys are going to be there. They're going to get their money. And guess what? When they all get their money, guess who isn't going to have their money yet? If he's our guy, which I hope he is, Tua Tagovailoa. Like I said to you all before, we have 4-year window to win a Super Bowl. And at that point, we're going to have a decision to make as Dolphin fans. So if Tua is going to be our savior, as Mahomes is not going to be able to afford weapons around him, they're going to decline. It still might be a good team, but they're going to decline. Baltimore, when they give them their money, they're going to decline. When the Houston when they give him his money, they're going to decline. Now, here's going to be the real question. If Tua Tagovailoa, and let me be fair here. I'm gonna use my thoughts and y'all thoughts combined in this. If Tua Tagovailoa wins the Super Bowl next year, and he wins the Super Bowl the year after, and we come up to year 4 where it's his turn for contract extension. If you look back and you see, like I want y'all to walk down this road with me. I want y'all to walk down this road with me and keep it real. I really want y'all to look out for the best interests of this organization. Not selling tickets, but this organization. If Tua wins 2 Super Bowls, because I'm just putting Mahomes in a 2 Super Bowl category, even though we'll see. If Tua wins 2 Super Bowls and we come up 4 years from now to a contract conversation, and you look at Mahomes and he makes it to the playoffs and loses the first round every year after he got his deal. If you look at Deshaun Watson and they barely make it. If you look at Lamar Jackson and they barely make it anymore. And Russell Wilson continues not to win Super Bowls anymore. And it's always a young quarterback on a rookie deal that comes into the picture and wins, like Tua, because he's going to be there with the low contract, weapons around him, winning. If the proof is there in your face, Mahomes got his money, the team was never the same. Lamar got his money, the team wasn't the same. Deshaun got his money, the team wasn't the same. Russell Wilson got his money and keep getting it, and the team was never the same since his rookie contract. If the proof is there overwhelming, like nobody's doing it anymore because they got their money. At least that's what I love about the situation. That generation, because Tannehill, Cam Newton, RG3, Kaepernick, Andrew Luck was a part of that, just his injuries. All of them already proved it, but nobody cared for that to be proof. Now, if Mahomes, Russell Wilson continues, if Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson comes out, those 4 quarterbacks come out and they prove my theory that none of them win another Super Bowl after they get their money. Now let's Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson, they still got a chance. I think this is like the last year they got a chance before they get their money. But after they get their deal, if those 4 guys prove it, does that matter to you all in regards to when Tua wins us 2 Super Bowls? I'm being optimistic. But when he wins us 2 Super Bowls, our approach in free agency, or his contract extension, would that change anything for you? Would it, like, literally? And Ingraven just showed up in the building with the eyes. I want to ask you, Ingraven, let's go down this road real quick. I'm gonna say this one more time, if Russell Wilson continues to be a playoff contender but not a Super Bowl contender, if Lamar Jackson, after he gets his money, he might even win y'all one. But after he gets his money, the team is never the same. If Deshaun Watson proves that, and Mahomes, out of all people, because not this year, because the money don't kick in this year, he'll get some bonus, but next year is when the cap money kick in. Now, if he goes 3 years and no longer a Super Bowl contender, just a playoff contender. People will argue they're both in the same. You're contending if you make the playoffs, but y'all know what I mean. They just ain't got enough weapons anymore around them because they giving all that big money. Would it matter then? Would it matter? Would you start to finally realize the reason why these young guys are coming in on fire, not to take anything from them, because they're talented and they're some great kids. And there's some great players. But do you realize this is the only time these young guys will have the most weapons around them in their career? Prime weapons. They could afford. Mahomes is going from like $4 million to 40. $36 million is being taken away from the cap. Where do you think they're getting that from? Where do you think on their roster they're getting that from? Where do you think they're gonna grab $36 million from? That's why I always tell people, you're paying a player $36 million to not be better, but to at best be the same or less. That's why I don't understand pantering to Dak Prescott. He ain't win nothing. At least Mahomes won something, y'all. They ain't got to win nothing for 10 more years, but at least the kid got him a ring already. But this is my point on pandering to these guys. Especially if you ain't win anything. That's why I'm going to be honest. The teams that I'm nervous for, the Houston Texans with Deshaun and the Ravens with Lamar, their time is running out. They got to get one now. They have to get one now. Because how are you going to pay a guy $40 million per year and he ain't win you nothing? Ain't win a playoff game yet. How? What's up, Doug? Doug in the building said TD is back in full force. LOL, I love it. I'm here, man. I'm back, man. This got my juices pumping because I was waiting on Mahomes. We all knew Mahomes was getting paid. They said it was 40. I was like, I don't think, like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Deep down inside, I was like, they be fools to give him 40, but I could see them giving him an average of 37 a year, and that's a whole lot. But if he milk him, he gonna get 40, and he gonna get 40 plus, and that's gonna ruin their future. Because how do you compete with a young stud quarterback coming in that's just as good in some cases? Not all of them will be. But these quarterbacks are going to keep coming in the league. You're going to have great quarterbacks. But how do you compete a $40 million quarterback versus a $4 million quarterback, $36 million worth of talent more around him? That's what it's coming up to, and nobody's seeing it. I have no clue why nobody's seeing this. That's what you're playing against in the NFL in today's world. Half of the teams in the playoffs last year, the quarterback was on a rookie deal. Half of the quarterbacks last year in the playoffs were on a rookie deal. What you're competing against is a low salary with a loaded team versus a high salary with good pieces here and there trying to make it happen because they're all veterans. That's what it is. Doug said, do you see that Mahomes' contract is going to be a certain percent of the cap, not a hard amount? Well, they're saying that it's going to be a hard amount, but not to be lower than a certain percent of the cap. That's also what I'm hearing, that it's going to be a number, like, but never below. Somebody said 18% of the cap, never below 18, but could be higher depending on the cap. So I don't know. I can't wait to see the final contract. I can't wait to see the final numbers. I cannot wait. But this, I'm telling y'all, this is going to make life easier in the AFC. Josh Allen, he done already started 2 years before our guy. Sam Darnold, these guys are already up in there. We have, us in Cincinnati have the youngest guy, and we're going to be able to put the right weapons around him if we do it right. We can fumble it too, but if we do it right, oh boy. Shout out to Powerhouse TJ with the donation, said, Pat opened up the floodgates of QBs. Miami is going to sneak up and win a Super Bowl because of being smart with their money. Yes. See, I personally feel like we're building a team that can win a Super Bowl, like with the right quarterback at the helm. If Tua is everything that we say he is, I really do believe he can win us a Super Bowl, like within the next few years. I think he can be just as special as Patrick Mahomes. I'm not putting him there yet because there's a lot that needs to be proven, but he can be, especially if some of the things that I have concerns about don't exist anymore. I think he can, because the team around him is going to be so much more well-rounded. I'm not saying the team around him is going to be elite, but it's going to be so much more well-rounded. And what do you need to win a Super Bowl? A well-rounded team. Look at San Francisco going to the Super Bowl. They had a well-rounded team. The secondary with a D-line complementing each other. The solid linebackers in the middle. They had an offense. They had a good old line, knew how to run the ball. Quarterback is suspect, if you ask me, but still made it to the Super Bowl because they're well-rounded. The Chiefs, O-line is good. Running back, as you can see, actually exceeded expectations. Good running game. Quarterback was actually phenomenal. I ain't gonna say phenomenal. Y'all know I criticized his game in those last two games anyway. But quarterback is better than Garoppolo. And the defense is where they suffer, but they got a little better, well-rounded. See, this is the case where when people argue with me about quarterback get you over the top, Mahomes made up for their lack of defense. See, they still had enough on defense, but he made up for any flaws they had because of his explosiveness can overcome certain deficiencies on the defense, which their defense actually played well. Okay. But now they have to go through that roster and purge 36 million plus. Because we're saying 40, it might be 42, 43 average. Who knows? We don't know yet. We have no idea yet. We might look up as 45. I don't know. I don't think so. It better not be. Oh my gosh. But at the end of the day, man, $36 million they got to purge from that roster. Not this year. That's the beautiful part about it. Lucky them. Not this year, because people are going to think that money. Now, his bonus, he'll get some right now, signing bonus. But next year is when they got to start purging. They might actually, no, let me stop. They're going to start purging their roster this year to start to make room and pick up draft assets because they got to try to figure it out in the draft to get young and better right away to keep this going. But I'm telling y'all, it's going to be no different from Seattle when they lost the Legion of Boom. Recently, when they did Mahomes, when they did Russell Wilson's newest contract, they had to get rid of 2 Pro Bowlers. One of them was All-Pro. They had to get rid of them. And it's a fact. The coach came out and said, we would love to keep all 3 of those guys, but it's unrealistic. We can only keep 1 if we want to sign Russell. And they let 2 of them go. And I'm telling y'all, they're not going to be, I've been saying this for 2 years now, the Seahawks ain't going to be no good but a first or second round. They won't have what it takes to go through the rigors of the playoffs because their roster ain't built for it. When one guy's making that kind of money, it's impossible to be built for it. You literally probably got to have 5 rookies that's playing at a Pro Bowl level to overcome it. Somebody said, TD, what about Chris Jones? Hey, chopping block. Listen, just look for the big contracts. They can't go for the small contracts, man. Like, think about it. You probably got to let go 3 of your biggest players or 2 of your biggest players in 3, 7, and 8s. That's 5 players. Or you got to let go like 9, 7, or 8s, and that ain't going to happen. You ain't going to let go all the guys that's making 4, 5, and 6 million because those are typically, in a lot of cases, those are your solid players. They're not superstars, but they get the job done. So I challenge anybody, go to that salary cap and show me how you would remove 36 million. And that's just at the bare minimum of him making 40 million. Show me where you would remove 36 million and tell me how that team looks after that. This is what they're getting into. And I'm excited about it because it's clearing. And it ain't going to be easy. They're still going to be competitive. They're still going to hurt some teams' feelings. That's Patrick Mahomes. He earned it. He won the team a Super Bowl. Well, the team won the team a Super Bowl. But we'll see. Let's see. Let me hear from you guys. Let's see what you all have to say. The Chiefs may not be good. He still needs players behind him. Absolutely. Shake, what is your opinion on the contract that I would get to Tagovailoa if we want Super Bowl before his rookie contract is up? Oh, he's talking to somebody. Chris Jones will make up us a top 5 worst case scenario defense. Top 5. KA all day he would, but we got to pay Chris Jones too. We would have to pay him too. Now, I know we're going to go into next year with a potential $50 million in cap, but we got to pay them too. And I'm not opposed to that at all. Because what Miami cannot screw up on, and let me be clear, y'all, listen to me clearly here, because I feel I'm so right on this entire assessment of how the league is going right now. I feel that I'm so right on this is what's happening. These young quarterbacks are coming in, shining, looking like they're all going to be the next future, this and that, because they're loaded. The talent around them is superior over these sorry teams. The overall talent on these rosters, having to only pay their quarterbacks $4 million, $5 million, they're loaded. They're loaded. So listen to me clearly on this, okay? Please listen to me clearly. Miami can't screw this up. Right now, you go into this year the way it is, and you get the most out of it and try to compete, and you try to make it far as you can. But next year in free agency, you bring in the best dogs that you can to fill our biggest holes, and you draft some of the guys that's on the roster now, their future replacement, and we go win a Super Bowl. You can't screw that up. You can't stay in this passivity of, we're going to keep on adding the little thing here and the little thing. No, look at how the league is transforming. That's why the Patriots aren't going to be relevant like that anymore. That same system, like I'm always advocating for the 7 and 8s. And I understand that system gives you a competitive advantage, especially when your quarterback ain't taking a lot of money. But you still have to watch out for the young teams behind you where their quarterback's taking a little bit of money and they're loading their roster too. This all started back when the Eagles won a Super Bowl, y'all. This all started when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. That was the starting point of this new era of football. They loaded up. Dude, people forget what the Eagles had on that team. Their third string players could have been starters. People forget what the Eagles had on that Super Bowl team. People forget what that team was made of. They were loaded. And they made people say, how is it? It's hard to be loaded these days. How are they loaded? Because they didn't spend exceptional money in certain positions that everybody else did. It's just like fantasy. Last year was my worst year of fantasy football, y'all. But it was also the first year I went outside of what I normally do. It's the same thing with fantasy. There's a reason why I'm a perennial winner in fantasy football. And I ain't saying I'm better than any of y'all because this is a serious conversation right now to me because I want y'all to get this point. There's a reason why I win my fantasy all the time. In the last 8 years, and I know I'm a homer, but I picked Ryan Tannehill as my fantasy quarterback. There's a reason. And I would win almost every season. The reason why is because everybody would go for the running back or the receiver first. They would go for the quarterback or the running back first. So all these quarterbacks coming out the board, the first thing that I picked was a wide receiver. I'm like, nobody's going after wide receivers into the 3rd or 4th round. I get the best wide receiver. Everybody's still picking. I get the best tight end. Everybody's still picking. I get the best defense. Everybody's still picking all those same players. I go get the best player at every position other two than the first two. The best player available. The best pick I can make at that. Then I come back and I go get my running backs. And then literally in like the 7th round, I grab my quarterback, which is Ryan Tannehill. Why? Because Ryan Tannehill going to give me 22 points every year, every week. And everybody else is picking the quarterback that's going to give them 40, then 13, 29, then 19, 38, then 15. People pick off of the potential. But if you look at the theory behind that, fill your roster with great, solid players. Don't be top heavy. But the difference is in the real football world is when I get the best tight ends don't make what receivers make. Tight ends don't make what quarterbacks make. But I'm getting the best one. I'm putting all my money in the positions I'm putting all my money in the positions that everybody else takes for granted. Fill that roster with good quality. We just spent some money on the linebacker position with Ogbar and Van Noy. A lot of people take those things for granted. They really do. We just spent some money on guards and center. Some people take those for granted. They focus on the tackles. These are the things that make your team solid. Real solid. But we can't screw it up. We're going to do as best as we can this year. We might shock the world. But realistically, next year in the offseason, we should all have our heads high feeling like we're about to win a Super Bowl. We should all feel like we're about to win a Super Bowl. Oh, my gosh. Y'all better stop playing with me. Let me refresh my screen. Y'all better be lying to me. That better not be the contract. Y'all better be lying to me. Y'all better be lying to me. Compensation update. Patrick Mahomes' 10-year extension is worth $450 million. The injury guarantee is $140 million. The contract does not tie any value to the percentage of the salary cap. So there is no percentage of the salary cap. The injury guarantee. No, I want to know what the straight up guarantee is. So they're saying if he gets injured, he's guaranteed 140. Where's the other guarantees? There's no other guarantee other than the injury guarantee? Because if it's not, then it's a 3-year deal. If the only guarantee he has is an injury guarantee, then it's a 3-year deal. Or no, technically it's a year-by-year deal. It's not even a 3-year deal unless he gets hurt. I got to see. Maybe later they'll come out with another guaranteed number. But if the injury guarantee is $140 million and there's no other guarantees, then okay, they basically franchising him to a $45 million a year contract, year-by-year basis. In other words, if he sucks the next year and throws 600 yards in 16 games, they can cut him and don't owe him any money. But I know that there has to be some other guarantee in there. But $45 million? Bro, they got to go through their roster and say, okay, where can we find $40 million? Oh, $45 million a year. I'm sitting here saying, where you gonna find $36 million? Now they got to figure out $40 million worth of cuts on that roster. Wow. Oh, boy, I'm happy for Mahomes, though. Get that cash, homie. Get that cash. Get that cash. $45 million? He's almost 25% of the cap. It's a $450 million contract for 10 years. $450 million for 10 years. That's an average of 45 per. There we go. Scott Jackson said you have to pay your quarterback. He's that important. Without Mahomes, Kansas City hadn't won a playoff game in 20 years. Hey, and now with Mahomes, they won't win a Super Bowl. I said it. I could be proven wrong. This is their last chance to win a Super Bowl.
Daddy, where's the remote?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not in here.
Wait, where's it?
No, this is for this TV.
Oh,
Whoa, get down. Don't hurt yourself.
Netflix.
Oh, right here. Here it is. Sorry, guys. You can keep it. My bad. Where's my other remote? I have no clue. But man, this is crazy. I love it. I'm telling you, it's better for these up and coming AFC teams. Y'all better understand that. Because the contract doesn't kick in this year, just so y'all know. Y'all have to understand that. Every time somebody signs a deal like this, it's an extension. So he's going to play out this season, but it's really the money starts next year. He just starts getting some bonus right now. He just starts getting bonus money right now. So this is his last chance, in my opinion. And time will tell. So what I want the Miami Dolphin fans to do is pay attention to this situation. Russell Wilson should have already proved it to you, but for some reason y'all still seem not to care. Russell Wilson should have proved it to you. RG3, Cam Newton, what's his name? Kaepernick, all of them, Tannehill, Andrew Luck, that whole era should have proved it to you. But nobody cared about that era proving it. So now you got a whole new era that's about to prove it again, but y'all make sure you pay attention to it because we're going to have a decision to make if Tua's that great. We're going to have a decision to make. So pay attention to Patrick Mahomes, not this year, but the year after going forward. Pay attention to Lamar Jackson when his comes. Pay attention to Deshaun Watson when it comes. Pay attention to those guys. You might even add Josh Allen in there. Pay attention to it. So 4 years from now, when we got a decision to make, because we just won 2 Super Bowls, don't ignore what happens to those guys. Because if they don't make the playoffs and if they first round exits for over the next 4 years after they get their money, if you ignore it, then you don't care about winning. You don't care that you don't care about winning. This is massive, man. This is actually blowing me out of the water. Can't believe it. Oh man, now the Cowboys with Dak. I hope he get his money too. Make it easy. Like, do people understand that logic? Dak Prescott is making pennies right now. But you're going to go from paying him pennies to giving him $40 million a year, literally, probably 30. That, I got to get my color going. Dak probably is going to make $38 million more than his rookie contract. And the man can't get out the first round, barely make the playoffs. The team doesn't get better. The team doesn't get better. They don't get better. I never understood if you're paying a quarterback $4 million and he don't win a playoff game, and now you paying him $40 million, how are they supposed to be better? It's the same quarterback that couldn't win before. Same one. Now you're giving him more money, taking away less impact players on the team, and you're supposed to be better? No, miss me. You got to miss me with that one. TD, what do you think will be the score between Miami and Chiefs this year? That's a good one, man. It depends on our defense. I think both teams will be in the 30s. The Chiefs will still be good this year. Again, his contract doesn't kick in 2021. He's going to get a lot of that signing bonus now, but the contract versus the cap, it ain't finna bang until 2021. That's when that's going to hit. Cowboys fans want Dak, Jamal, and even LeBron James. What up, Talib? We will all remember this as the fall of the Chiefs. Man, forget the Chiefs. I'm more concerned about if we're put in this position 4 years from now, how emotional our fan base is and what they're going to pay the man. Give him his $50 million a year. I'm about to say something that is going to be so factual, but some people ain't going to like it. The Chiefs just paid Patrick Mahomes to be Dan Marino for the rest of his career. to be great, but don't win no Super Bowl. That burns. The Chiefs just paid Patrick Mahomes to be Dan Marino. They did. They did, Adrian. They did. They just paid him to be Dan Marino. No matter how much we don't like that, but that's basically what it sums up to. That's basically what it sums up to. They just pay him to be Dan Marino. And you know what? I love Dan Marino, and I feel like he's the greatest quarterback of all time, and I've been on record saying that. But let's keep it 100, man. We never got it done. We never got it done with the greatest quarterback of all time, in my opinion. That's why I've never bought into this theory, oh, you need a great quarterback. We had one. With all the different reasons y'all say we didn't win, what does it matter? We had a great one. The greatest, in my opinion. That should be the ultimate proof that it's not just the quarterback position that gets it done. If Dan Marino ain't that proof, then I don't know what to tell you, man. Marino the GOAT, quit capping. I said he's the GOAT. I ain't capping. I'm speaking facts. Greatest of all time, never got it done. I mean, how's that capping? Is that all not facts? Is that not all facts? Mahomes is Marino who can scramble. Maybe, but I think his days of winning the Super Bowl is over. And that's the crazy part. He about to put up numbers for the rest of his career and may not win again. Oh, is Mahomes about to be Brett Favre? I mean, not Brett Favre, but I said Brett Favre. Is he about to be your boy Aaron Rodgers? Is that what this is? Win it early and then don't do nothing for 10 more years? The proof is all around us. The proof is all around us as soon as the money comes. The proof is all around us. 6 rings to Mahomes. You think Mahomes getting 6 rings? You think he finna Tom Brady this thing? How many times Tom Brady got to tell y'all out of his own mouth the competitive advantage that he's had in his 20-year career? Tom Brady out his own mouth. I'm not the highest paid because I enjoy the competitive advantage of having better players surround me. That's why they won Super Bowls. That's why they won Super Bowls. You think Tom Brady would have got that many rings had he taken $40 million a year? Because Tom Brady could have been broke the record. You tell me I'm wrong. He could have been became a free agency and half these teams would have gave him 40. 6 years ago. 6 years ago, he would have been like, whoa! Whoa! Tom Brady could have got 46 years ago. That's how powerful he was in this league. That's how much he was. That's how much he mastered the position. Come on, man. You think Mahomes is about to Tom Brady this thing with 6? Bro, like I said, take $40 million off of that roster right now and talk to me. This man getting 45 a year. You go and take 40 million off of that roster right now and talk to me. You think that's finna cut it? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's funny. I see him getting 3 rings. I see 2. And that's because next year is his last chance. I mean, this year right here, excuse me. It's his last chance because the contract don't kick in until 2021. And like I said, he is going to get some bonus money now. That signing bonus, but the contract don't kick in 2021. Unless they draft extremely well. I said it earlier. They got to literally have 6 guys that they drafted on a rookie contract that's in the Pro Bowl. Literally to make up for that type of deficit. It's not impossible, but what you're doing is asking them to draft so well to a point that nobody's really seen. Nobody's drafted that well. And you can draft well and still come up short in this situation. Still come up short. If D4 didn't line up off sides, he should already have 2. That's not true. That's not true. Listen, I've never been a believer in if this didn't happen, then he would have had a ring. Hell, if something in the first quarter didn't happen, he might have had a ring. If D4 didn't line up off sides, then maybe the wide receiver did. And that's all water under the bridge. If this didn't happen, if that didn't happen. I've never been one that if this. Unless I'm being biased, and y'all know I do that sometimes. So that's the only time I use ifs. If this would have happened, that's just because I'm being biased. But I don't care about no D4 stepping off sides. There's a lot of things in that game, too. In the first half, if he wouldn't have took 6 sacks for -9 yards, they might have won, too. Oh, but we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about that. All that if stuff. Yeah, but well, it didn't. He didn't. And he didn't get it. I could say a million ifs with Dan Marino, and he would have had one. But that ain't the case. We can't. Nobody care about the iffy pity party. Burrow will be the next GOAT. Cincinnati better do him right. They better do him right. But the Dolphins are ahead of Cincinnati in what they're doing to the roster, in my opinion. I think that the Dolphins are doing a lot better job than Cincinnati in building their team for their young quarterback to come in. TD, can you read my comment above? Let me see. If I can find it. Oh, Chiefs ain't gonna go back to the Super Bowl after 2020. I don't know, man. I could be proven wrong. This is a theory. Now, my theory's already been tested with the last generation of quarterbacks, with the RG3s and all of them, Cam Newtons. They came in and everybody say they were going to be the next messiahs. Okay. And now look at all of them. You even had one retire early, say he tired of the hits. And he should have been the one that represented him. Him and Russell. Him and Russell should have represented that era. But now all you got is Russell. And Russell proving you get that money. I'm going to still make us contenders, but we ain't winning it. We ain't winning it. It's that simple, man. Brian said 8 likes, 146 in the room. Refresh your screen, Bree. It's 70 likes. Y'all hit that like button, man. So YouTube can let people know that we live. No? Okay, no, I haven't. All right. Man, oh man, oh man. Boy, oh boy. This is great news for the Miami Dolphin fans, okay? This is great news for the Miami Dolphins fans. EM said, nah, I can't like this foolishness, LOL. Hey, man, EM, I'm about to put you in that Matt Burke category with Adam Gase. You better hit that like button. Don't get put in that category, man. Oh, man, can you read my comment above? Oh, man. Let me see. Deshaun, I don't see it. All right, let me go back down. Maybe I missed it. Deshaun Wilson. Y'all bear with me. I want to take care of Deshaun, but I don't see it. Deshaun is probably too far back, bro. Maybe repost. Oh, there it is. Yo, TD, imagine if the season get canceled. What happened to the Chiefs then? I don't know. It depends on what they do with the current contracts. If they just keep everything the same and that like 2021 is 2020 from a contractual standpoint and push everybody's deals forward. I have no clue, bro. I couldn't even answer that. That it just depends on the league and the NFLPA what they agree with, but people are still going to want to get paid. So I don't know. You tripping, TD. Getting beat for 15 years by Mahomes is good news. If that's how your brain equates it, then that's how your brain equates it. But don't say I'm tripping in the process of your equation. Okay? If you equate being beat by Mahomes for the next 15 years with his deal, if that's what you think, then okay. Once again, I just think you don't understand the logic of a quarterback that was making almost $4 million a year. Now he's making $41 million. See, people just need to answer the basic, simple, elementary question. By signing Mahomes, did they get better? No. By signing someone, you don't get better. You're either the same or worse. There's no such thing as signing a player that you already have and you got better. There's no such thing. You already have him. You did get better. Now, talk about the $41 million additional dollars. Where is that going to come from? Where is that going to come from? Please. It's just like politics when people debating in politics. Oh, we want this program. Everybody wants it. Why don't? Then who's paying for it? And nobody will give the answer because everybody want to run away from the grim truth about it. It sounds great, but can you please tell us who's paying for it? Because I'm behind it, but I do need to know who's paying for it. So please help me understand who's paying that additional $41 million. Which players on the roster right now are going to be cut to pay it? And when you come up to enough players that total $41 million, I didn't say Mahomes didn't deserve it. If he could have got 60, I'm happy for him. But once again, can you tell me what players on the roster you would remove to make up for that $41 million, then evaluate that team? And tell me how good that team is then. See, y'all some of the same people that think that if we would have had Patrick Mahomes last year, we would have won 13 games. Some of the same people that think that if Patrick Mahomes was a Dolphin last year with the roster we had, we would have won 13 games. That's some of y'all. Yep. With all the injuries, with all the guys that we got from Home Depot and all that, some of y'all are the same ones that feel like we would have won 13 games had he been our quarterback last year. Those are the individuals we're talking to. Rip said Chris Jones, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Oh, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. We got to make up $41 million. And those are 3 big-time players for him. You got to keep adding. Those guys make more than that. They don't equal $41 million. Not right now. But that does make me curious. That does make me curious, though. Do they still win a Super Bowl if you remove those 3 players? Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones. Put it in the comment section. Would they still have won a Super Bowl against a San Francisco 49ers if they even went that far? Yes or no? Would they still have won the Super Bowl without those 3 players? I'm just curious. I'm not saying yes or no, but y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. Would they have still won a Super Bowl without those players? Nope. Hell to the no. Doubtful they would have won. Hell no. Nope. Yeah, bro, for life. No. So if we're all sitting here saying no, for those who are literally sitting here making it seem like I'm talking crazy talk, where's your logic? There go all the no's. There go everybody in the comment section agrees. Absolutely not. So I ask you again, where would you remove $41 million from this roster? Because even if one of those players was worth $15 million, you may not see it, but the impact of removing 2 $7 million players instead of the $15 million is just as great. It's just they're not superstars, so you don't look to feel it. You don't care to recognize it. This is what you do to your roster. Same thing that's been happening with Russell Wilson. You can't tell me, why don't you evaluate the Seahawks roster? Why haven't they had enough to get it done? If you really want to talk about it, Why the Seahawks can't get it done? The conclusion is going to be they don't have enough. Why they ain't got enough? We sit here acting like they carried over $20 million for next year in the salary cap. No, that ain't what's happening. They building the best team they can afford, and it ain't enough. This is exactly why. Exactly why. And let me help y'all understand something too. Somebody just said Seattle can't draft. Maybe that's a part of it. But you got to be almost perfect in your draft. You got to be almost perfect. And another thing about drafting, when you got a quarterback that's good enough to take you to the playoffs or the second round every year and nothing more, you're always drafting at the end of the first. You're always drafting at the end of the first. And nobody drafted at the end of the first feel like they got a guaranteed starter day one. They want to try to make one, absolutely. But when you're drafting at number 25 and all of that, you're hoping you get a starter. I mean, in today's NFL, you hope the 10th overall pick is a starter. Hope. Seattle ain't paid their defense. How could they? Where you gonna get the money to pay them? Where you gonna get the money to pay them? That's the point. That is the point, man. Chiefs drafted Clyde Hilaire at 31. He's gonna start. Maybe, but drafting one player ain't gonna get it done. I told y'all you got to have at least 5 players on your roster that's Pro Bowl worthy in the draft to make up for that type of contract. What y'all fail to realize is $41 million can get you 4 Pro Bowls at the right position. It can get you a Pro Bowl guard, another Pro Bowl guard, and you probably can get 2 more Pro Bowl linebackers. That's what $45 million can get you, 4 Pro Bowlers. And in some cases, if you're real smart, 5. 5. $45 million. That's what it could get you. That's exactly what it could get you. And I ain't even big on the Pro Bowlers. I'm big on the guys who are better than average. Say elite at a position was $10 million. I'm big on the guys that you could pay 7 and 8. For every 4, 7, and 8, you get a free 7 and 8. You bring in 4, 7, and 8s on the team, now you got a free one. That's what it's about, man, making a full, well-rounded roster. And like the Miami Dolphins right now, look at what we're doing at the safety position. Look at what we're doing at the tight end position. We need another one. We need safeties and we need a tight end. And maybe those guys turn a corner and they're that good this year and we're like, okay, we're straight. But right now, we all know we need a safety and we need a tight end. And now we don't know what we need on the O-line other than a center for the future, unless they're going to move Karras. So we're really looking at this year to determine what we need on the O-line. But we got to figure out a way to fill this roster to where we don't feel that way. In 2021, we should go into 2021 saying we got the receivers we need, we got the running backs we need, we got the safeties we need, we got everything we need. We got everything we need. Everything we need. That's what we got to do in 2021. We're not far away. Man, we've changed the tides really fast, y'all. We've changed the tides really fast. Brandon Jones means we will be fine at safety, but y'all keep sleeping on him. Well, Adrian, I don't think we're sleeping on him. I just think that he has to come out and prove it. You know what I mean? I'm with you on that, honestly. It's just that me and rookies, all rookies, bro. I mean, I'm Austin Jackson, Noah, Tua. I never get up for rookies like that. I just can't. I can't. They got to come out and prove it. This league is totally different than college. Some of them have the attributes that's very special that you could be proud of early, but I've never been one to get up and get at it about any rookie. Come in, I don't care if you come in and prove it for 3 games, I can get up and get at it about you, but I'm with you though. I think he can fill that role, but I got to wait for him to prove it for me to say that, you know? So, but I'm with you, bro. I get where you're coming from. Because he very well could fill that role and be our future at the role. Is Mahomes another Dan Marino? I like Marino's arm much better. Well, I'll say this, Mr. Jones. He can't be another Marino because he already got a ring. Hey, boy, that sounds so shady, but it's the truth. I didn't know how to say it without being factual. He can't be Marino. He can't be Marino because he got a ring. But the rest of his career can be Marino-esque. It can be Marino-esque. Just putting up 4,000 yards every year just so that he could try to break records to make the Hall of Fame. That's what Aaron Rodgers does. Aaron Rodgers got so many games where he threw the ball 45 times in a loss, but he want to put up them numbers. He want to put up them numbers. And people think they drafted Jordan Love just because. Okay. TD, instead of Pro Bowl players, it should be all pro players. Yeah, I get that, but all pro players come with that Mahomes premium. All pro players, they come with that Mahomes premium. Mahomes premium, man. Dwayne Wade just came in the building and said 10 years. Dang, that's a risky contract. What if he gets hurt? He has $140 million injury guarantee. I still got to look at the details of the deal, though, Dwayne Wade, because it ain't making sense. I want to know what the real guaranteed is. Like, is it a $200 million guarantee? I want to know because if there's no real guarantee and the only guarantee is injury, then it's not a bad deal. It's still a bad deal from a year-to-year basis. But at least they're not on the hook. So if his is $45 million a year and the only guarantee is an injury guarantee, if he trashed this year, they can cut him in no dead cap. Because there's no guarantee. The only guarantee is injury. So I got to wait on the contract details because the details may come where, it's 240 guaranteed. Oh, okay. Because all they're reporting right now is the injury guarantee. That's all they're telling us right now is the injury guarantee. So I'm all good with that, man. I just cut the TV off. It just depends, man. Once we get the details, we'll know so much more. Until then, it's just, all right, $45 million a year. That sucks. But at least right now, from the way the deal sounds, they can get out of it anytime. So they might go 2 or 3 years and be like, yeah, we keep going to the first and second round, no better. And we're not going to get better paying 45. So who knows? I don't know how that goes. I could see them continuing to try to make it work and all kind of renegotiations. Renegotiation after renegotiation after renegotiation. I could see it. Exactly, TD. We don't know yet. Yeah, I got to wait on the real figures. That's a ton of dough for a QB. Yeah. It is. So 10 years, $450 million. That's NFL record. Yeah. But will he end up getting the NFL record money? Shout out to Darius Gilmore for the donation on PayPal. Appreciate you, homie. Let me see if you left me a message. He left a message saying, hit that like button. That's what's up, Darius. I appreciate you supporting the channel, man. Yes, y'all. Hit that like button, all right? Punch that like button. Appreciate you going to PayPal, Darius. Let me see. Okay, I got it now. My screen. All right, so LOL Mahogany. Man, I just donated. Where my shout out? Oh, that's the homie. That's my brother, man. Let me see. I don't see the donation, man. Let me see. First off, let me add a mod to my brother. Yeah, man, I don't see the donation. Oh, there it is. I see it. It says that it was declined. Your 30-cent donation was declined by your financial institution. I'll just tease him, y'all. That's my brother. Oh, man. But I really don't see it, man, if you were serious, man. TD, I'm with you. I can't get too happy about a draft pick. Yeah, time will tell. TD, let's say we are the ones in that position. Will you sign Mahomes to a 10-year deal? Absolutely. I would definitely sign Mahomes to a 10-year deal. Not for $450 million. I signed him on a 20-year deal. But not for that kind of money, per. Not for that kind of money. Man, listen. 45 a year. Hey, you know what's funny? No. It just hit my mind. Let's think back, y'all. Let's think back for a little bit. Remember a few months ago when I was like, man, what you gonna do if they get a man 45? I was asking y'all, I said, then what's too much? I said 40 million. Well, TD, nobody said he's going to get 40. I said they talk about that with Mahomes. What if he get 45 million? Bro, they ain't going to give him 45 million, but he might break the bank with 39 or 40. I said, we don't know. What if they do? What's crazy is I actually made it a hypothetical. I said, okay, what if they did do 45 million? And look at today. 45 was the actual number. Oh my gosh. Shout out to the homie, my brother Steve in the building. Man, Dead Broke Records in the house, man. That's our record label, by the way, y'all. Y'all got to check out our tracks, man. We're going to start releasing new tracks. We got a record label. It's called Dead Broke Records. All right? The name speaks for itself, baby. Hey, Steve said, let me go back. I'm now wondering what Marino contract would be like in today's game. Well, from my understanding, when I talked to a lot of people who, really understood the Marino era a lot better than I did, because I was a kid on the living room floor just watching his greatness, so I didn't know about the money and all of that. But the way people say now, they're basically saying that Marino didn't take any pay cuts. Marino always wanted his money, and he took the max amount that he could get. So I don't know. It would have been crazy like this probably. It would have been crazy. Oh, boy. Let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to see something somebody just sent. In 2001, I gave Brett Favre a 10-year deal. Hold on. I'm trying to 10-year deal averaging 11.25 when cap was 60 million, 18.75% of the cap. Okay. Today, Pat Mahomes gets 12-year deal averaging 37. Why is he saying a 12-year deal? It's not a 12-year deal. It's a 10-year deal. You're bringing the averages down when cap is 200 million, 18.75 of cap. All right, Rhino C, go back and do your math, man. Stop stretching it out to a 12-year deal. It's not a 12-year deal, okay? See, y'all see these numbers, how people try to put those numbers out there to make the narrative. Dead broke for life, rapping on the Yes, man. Mixtape legends, baby. Mixtape legends. They don't know, man. We gonna drop a new one for them. Oh, Rhino C say it isn't me. Oh, hold on. I mean, who is that? I don't know what he's talking about then. Oh, It's 12 with 2 remaining on contract. Okay, when Spot Track comes out, y'all gonna see what it is. Okay, y'all gonna see. We're gonna see what it is. Now I know that they picked up his 5th-year option, but he still gets the signing bonus from it. So you got to add that on top of it too. It's a 12-year deal because it's a 10-year extension with 2 years left on current contract. Oh, so what y'all saying is what they're doing is using the same 2 years to spread it out even more? I don't get what you're saying. You're extending it by 450, but the underlying 2 years is still there, is it not? Give me a wrench, TD. I got you, bro. The underlying 2 years, you still got to add that money. You still have to add that money. It doesn't wipe out that money. The 5th year is 24.8. Wow. What is it this year? 4 million? 5 million? Drew Bledsoe also signed a 10-year contract with Patriots, but money wasn't this large. TD, Mitch Trubisky for $1 million a year or Mahomes $45 million a year. I'm taking Mitch all day. You know what kind of power running game you could build in a great defense? See, Mitch Trubisky can be Joe Flacco with everything around him. That's my whole point here. Mitch Trubisky can play like Joe Flacco if he got everything around him. $2.8 million for this year. Wow. Gotta pay my homie. Facts. I'm fading you after the show. So it's more than 450. 450 million was the extension. But if they kept the 2 years they have now, the luxury they have is to put some of that money into these first 2 years to reduce the average. I think his average is going to end up coming around 41 instead of 45 because the 5th year is about a $24 million hit, but they're going to take some of that 450 and put it in there. And this year, if it's 2.8, they're going to take some of that 450 and put it in there. So this year, correct me, I'm corrected, he may actually make about 35 to 40 this year. Because what they're trying to do is push some of it up to lower each year. So instead of 45 per, it might end up being somewhere about 39 to 41. But again, it depends on how they structure it. Because this year they're going for the gusto. They might say, hey, he's supposed to make 2.8 this year. We're going to do a 20 million cap hit because we still got to be able to afford this year. They might keep the 2.8 this year so that they can keep the roster intact. Because if they push it all early, man, I doubt Spot Track will already be updated on it. But I got to check just in case. I got to check, man. All right, we're going to see, man. Because if they updated it, that would be amazing. So we'd actually see how it's structured. Yeah, it's not updated yet. They haven't updated it. They have the numbers up in the system, but they don't have the year breakout yet right now. They haven't sent in the yearly breakdown because they have to figure that out. This year, his base salary is $825,000, but he still get part of his rookie signing bonus and roster bonus. So his cap hit this year is actually $5.3 million without the new deal. So those who said 2.3 this year, no, he's 5.3 this year without the new deal. So we got to see what the new deal does to his signing bonus, the roster bonus, his yearly. It's going to be interesting. Because now you make me want to pull up the Chiefs Spot Track. Because I want to see how much cap space they got this year. This is going to be interesting. Can't be scared when we got Flores and Greer being smart about it. Yes, they are. Yes, they are, and I love it. I love every bit of it. All right. All right, here we go. All right, Chiefs. All right, multi-year summary. I'm checking it out now. I'll give y'all some answers. In 5 years, if the cap goes up, it won't be that much. It'll still be that much, but what y'all got to understand, here's what people don't understand. When they say the cap goes up $10 million, people act like you're supposed to just give all that $10 million to the quarterback. What you fail to realize, when the cap goes up by $10 million, so $10 million on a $200 million cap, do y'all realize that's 5% increase? Every position in the league value increases by 5% at that point. So it's harder to maintain players. It's harder to sign players if you're giving what the cap goes up to to one player. So the wide receiver that was worth $10 million is now worth $10.5. So people have to understand that when they do that, when they say things like that. All right, full roster. All right. This ain't giving me. Bear with me one moment, guys. I'm seeing what I can find. So how will they build around Mahomes with literally no money? They're gonna see. Hopefully, they don't do what the Cowboys did. See, the Cowboys they'll go through their roster and they'll start adjusting everybody else's salaries. They'll start saying things like, they'll start doing things like, hey, we have you on a 4-year, $20 million deal. We want to extend that to 6 years, but give you more guaranteed and stretch out the money so that they could be more reasonable in that year. So they could play with contracts, but what they would do is they would set themselves up for a bad situation in the future where they got all this money on the books that they can't get rid of. And especially when players get older and they start getting injured, it just becomes really, really bad. Team salary caps. Here we go, finally. All right, right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are second to the bottom. The Patriots have the worst cap situation right now, and the Chiefs are second to last. They have cap space of $3.6 million right now. That's without Mahomes' new contract. So if they are going to move money from the future contracts into this year, well, basically, if they're going to move some of his contract down, you know how somebody just said you divide it by 12 years? If they're going to push some of that money down to do a true 12-year division, they're actually probably going to be cutting some players or restructuring a lot of deals or moving money from next year into this year. Because I think you can move about $10 or $20 million per year, or you can carry about 10 or 20 million over to the next year. So basically, they'd be operating in debt. Right now, they got $3.6 million in cap. So I don't see how that would work. I don't see how it'll work. In their top 51 players right now total 217 million. So technically they could be at a negative if their top 51 players they select. They could be negative 17 million. So to be honest with you, they're probably going to move players anyway. Because right now with their top 51 players, and I think it's a 55-man roster now, but they're in the negative. The Patriots are too. They're negative 22 million right now with based off of salary cap. Let me see. Cap space all. When you add up the active salary cap, the dead cap, and the top 51 cap with the cap space and total cap, the Patriots are negative 22 million. The Chiefs are negative 17 million. But again, a lot of these players will probably be cut because they won't make it out of camp for the roster. But if you take the top 51 players, the Chiefs are still over. They're at 217. They're still over. So cap space right now, well, actually, they're not over. The Chiefs are actually, they got 3.6 million only because what they do, they also, I believe you have to report how much of the cap you want to use in that year. So the Chiefs might be reporting that they want to use about 220 million in cap, which means they're either carrying money from last year or they're carrying money from next year into this year. So they're already probably digging in one way or the other. I don't know their books to tell you which side. They have a 2-year window at best. I say one because they're already digging in other years to sustain right now. They're already digging in either the past or the future to sustain right now. They're running a top 51 players, $217 million cap right now. It's tough. We're the Dolphins. We're number 3. We're at the top. We got, well, this says that we have 28 million in cap space. I thought that it was a lot lower at this point, so I don't know. I got to see when this was last updated as well. A real-time look at the 2020 salary cap totals for each NFL team, including estimated cap space, assumes a $198.2 million team salary cap. Yeah. I wonder if they have our 2 most recent rookies that signed into this equation. We'll see. I'll study it a little more so I can make sure y'all have the facts on that because this is interesting. It is interesting. Interesting. Cam Newton. Casey is going to have consistently flipped guys from draft picks throughout the duration of this contract. Yeah. And then people don't realize they already do have some young guys on that roster that are coming up for contract soon. Think about when some of these guys actually come up for new deals. Think about that. Shout out to Renardo with the donation on PayPal, man. Let me see what it says. I'm glad you're feeling better. Great show. This is 72 Fins logo. Love you, man. I appreciate that. All love, man. All love. Thank you for supporting, bro. And thanks for caring about me. Malik Savage said, I'm a Patriots fan, but Patrick Mahomes, what if the Chiefs suck? You stuck with him. I don't know. We got to wait on the details of the contract first because they may not be stuck. If he starts sucking, they may be able to just cut him the very next year. I don't know. Because we got to see what the guarantees are. We don't know until we see the guarantees. The only guarantee that's come out so far is the guarantee of 140 on an injury. Send me the link to the chat on Twitter so we talk about this Patrick Mahomes contract extension. Well, I'm actually about to get up out of here in 2 minutes, but I'm going to come back live later this evening. I'm also going to be on my other platform talking about voting tonight. On TD's Real Talk. So if you want to have that conversation about voting, should you vote? Is it worth it? What if you have a situation where it's the lesser of 2 evils? All that stuff. We're going to have that conversation on the other platform. So if you want to come chat about that, come through. That should be interesting. But right now I'm about to go enjoy dinner with the family at the 6 o'clock hour. So I got about a minute and a half. So that's why I'm not sending the link, but I want to have a conversation. So after I have a conversation on the other platform, if there's still time, I'm going to come on over and we'll continue this conversation. McConaughey, the homie, he said, are you giving relationship advice? That platform, we talk about any and everything. You come in the comment section and say, can we do a video on this? We do it. when we do a video on anything, man, always vote. Otherwise, you have no right to complain. Well, that goes against the notion of always vote. Because what if you don't want to vote so that you don't have and you don't complain? Then that's fair too, is it? Is it not? I don't know. We'll talk about it. See, these are the conversations you have on the that we'll have tonight on the other platform, TD's Real Talk. All right, TD's Real Talk. So check it out. Make sure you put TD apostrophe S to find the channel. All right. So y'all come over, check that out. We're gonna be live on there after I have dinner with the family. I'm gonna go over there and we're gonna have a conversation and see. I mean, as long as it goes, it goes. But hopefully I can come back on this side tonight and we can chop this up again and talk more. But right now, let me go ahead and get to the family, man. Mahomes made the AFC East a little bit better, easier for a lot of people, and y'all gonna see what I'm talking about in the future. This TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Love y'all. Peace, y'all. Let's get 150 likes on this video. Punch that like button on your way out. I'm out, y'all. Love y'all.